What's up, Descendants, and welcome to a Lepic build video. This is an absolute boss killer. Lepic is fire. This guy's strong against fire. I'm hoping that we can show you how strong this build is. You'll be able to use this for all of the ones that you can do solo, all of the Colossus fights that you can do solo. You'll have no problem. And also as a team, you'll be able to take this in and do a huge amount of damage. Big numbers, and see ya. Nice and easy. And like I said, you can do this with all of the bosses. You know, we always see the same boss being leathered on the videos because, you know, it has such low HP. But with this, you can essentially show any boss because it just works so well. So let's go ahead and do the build. Now, there's a couple of things that you'll have to get for this to work. There's a couple of options that you'll get to get this to work, and you might have to go and farm a certain gun as well, depending on how lucky you get with your reactor. So first, that's where we'll start with the reactor. You can see here mine's a clairvoyance mountain, which isn't ideal. I had to go and farm that gun so that I could use this reactor because I got lucky at the bottom. It had skill critical hit rate and it had additional skill attack when attacking the Colossus. Now, I would definitely recommend that you definitely want the additional skill attack when attacking the Colossus on any reactor that you have. If you can get skill critical hit rate or skill critical hit damage on the bottom with that, you're on to an absolute winner. As you can see, we got the fire skill power boost ratio ticked and the tech skill power boost ratio ticked as well, which is great. And because we're using the clairvoyance, we get the 160% skill power. Now, the reason I'm using the clairvoyance for this is because I want all of them stats activated. I had to go and farm this gun. I would really have carried on farming to get one for my Enduring Legacy, but I just wasn't that lucky because you've got a lot of things to get here. And this is kind of almost perfect for what I was looking for. So I farmed the clairvoyance. As you can see, I've not even put a mushroom in it, no mods or anything like that. But what you do want to put in it is fire rate up, and you want to put in a sharp precision shot, because although it says it gives you a minus 20% fire rate, while pulling the trigger, the fire rate is 4% and firearm attack is 6% every 0.5 seconds, up to 10 stacks. Obviously, giving you then 40% fire rate, so an additional 20%, because obviously it takes 20 off at the top. With that, they're giving it 45% fire rate, meaning Lepic can fire out more of the fireballs quicker. Because what happens is these stats carry over into his Z ability, so it just means that you'll see them going faster and faster and faster, and we're going to get as many out in the time limit that we have. What is important though is that you just hold the trigger or the mouse button down. You don't just spam click, you hold it down so that all this activates perfectly. So that's basically what you want to do. So farm the reactor and then hopefully just get a good mounting for a gun that you've got. If not, you're like me and you think that reactor's too good not to use, go and farm the gun. You don't have to change it, weapon swap or anything like that. Just have it as your primary when you're doing all the buttons, and I'll go through the order of things that you need to do in a little bit later in the video. Other guns can be whatever you like, but then you're going to want to farm the Slayer set. Now, my Slayer set is not perfect, but for the moment, it does the job. So you can see here on the auxiliary power. Now, the module drop rate and the Kuiper is not what I would want. I would love to get a HP roll on that, so to have defense and HP would be absolutely brilliant. We then have got the sensor, which I've got what I would want on it. I've got MP on the sensor. More MP you've got, more balls you can put out, so definitely look for an MP roll there. Then for the backpack, I've got exactly what I want, just not in yellow. I've got defense and MP recovery modifier. Absolutely brilliant. I would take both of them. That's great. And then at the bottom, unfortunately, on the processor, I have not got what I want. But if we look at processors, taking a max shield roll on there would be great. So that's what I'm going to farm for in the end. But what you can see is the set effect, which is what's important. We get general round capacity +8. And then on the 4-piece bonus, we get rounds per magazine. Skill cost +15%, which is a bit of a bummer, but we get skill power 26.1%. which is absolutely huge. So get yourself farmed up a nice set of components. I had all of this set up with the reactor, the gun, and I was using annihilation instead, and I could still, most of the time, you know, one phase the boss is really easy. It allowed me to farm this setup fairly easily, and then kind of once you get a set on it, you then, you know, you can pretty much do it every time, meaning that you can just kind of farm until you get the set that you want or need. Then we're going to look at my Descendant modules. So you are going to have to farm up Firearm Master. Reloading a weapon increases skill range. We're not interested in that one. But changing weapon increases skill power. But it counts as a weapon change when you switch to the Z skill, the overkill skill. It counts as a weapon change because obviously you're using your bionic arm or whatever it is we're going to call it, and therefore then, you know, you don't have to worry about weapon changing or anything like that, which is absolutely great. Mid-air maneuvering is just what I've got on, but you can use whichever yellow one you want here. I've got maximized power for skill power modifier at 96% and skill cooldown at 50%. Battle of stamina, because I want a little bit of survivability in this. We've got skill duration and some HP. We can change that out, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Emergency measures for skill critical hit rate and skill critical hit damage. We then got skill concentration for skill critical hit damage. Dangerous ambush, which gives us 49.8% skill power when they go down onto the knees, which is absolutely huge. Front lines, which gives us skill critical hit damage and skill critical hit rate. Skill insight, giving us more skill critical hit rate. Fire specialist, giving us firepower, which counts because that skill, if you look at it, as you can see, it's classed as fire and tech. Skill extension, 36.5%, making it will last even longer. What every woman in every man's life wants. And then we've got defense and skill power with spear and shield. If you felt like you needed a little bit more damage, you could drop out Battle of Stamina, and you could put in this Fire Synctium, is it, instead? You can see critical hit resistance, we don't really need, but it will give you some more fire skill power. Obviously this is a triangle looking one, and this is a C, so I can't easily swap them out. But if you did want to, you know, perhaps not put a catalyst into this section and not maybe level it up quite as far, you could swap between them if you wanted to, and that would be a thing. I went all in on this. I just think that this just works. The extra little bit of skill, fire skill power, I just don't think is worth. So I decided to go all in. And as you can see here now, if I press the W key, you can see all of my stats here. Now the guns we're not worried about at all. Like I said, I've not spec'd into this gun whatsoever. I probably should do, so I can get a quick little bit of quick bursty damage out of it. But I do find that I'll just swap to the Enduring Legacy. Ideally, I would like a Reactor with for Enduring Legacy instead. That would just be great. But you can see here that the skill critical hit rate is almost 51%, with a 4 times modifier on the skill critical hit damage, which is just so nice, with all of the other kind of boosts that we get for fire skill and for tech as well, which is just really nice. That is going to be it for the video. If you want to see some more bosses being soloed, check out my YouTube shorts. I'm going to put a solo of all of the ones that we can solo on there. Maybe even I'll go jump into some pub groups and see if I can put some examples of them on there as well. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying the first Descendant content. I really would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow, along with all them likes that you've been giving me, so thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening. Goodbye.